Esenija, it's Greg. I sent you the pictures from Salvation Mountain for your exhibition archives. I'm just calling to see if you received them.
Oh yeah, great, thank you.
So what can you tell me about Salvation Mountain? When were you there?
20 years ago in 2006, I was preparing the group exhibition. I think it was titled The Art of Belief, presented by this visionary art museum of Los Angeles. And for this exhibition, we included a small replica, which was more like a sculpture, I will say, even, that Leonard Knight created of his Salvation Mountain. And I drove out into the desert, with a big truck, put it in there, never forget this journey, and then drove back to Los Angeles and set it up for the exhibition.
Yeah, what a character, right? I knew nothing about Leonard Knight or Salvation Mountain. I was just on my way to Slab City, which is a military installation that's just up on the hill beyond Salvation Mountain. So I had to pass it to get there. And I stopped in and took these photos, and that was in 1994.
It's totally a character one seems never to forget. And what I thought was interesting when I was talking to him, he was sharing with me passionately. Ever since he was a little boy, he was dreaming about California. But himself, he was growing up in Vermont, and so I guess he got introduced to California in probably the desert, watching movies, and then I think he went to. I remember him telling me he went to Korea, and then he traveled around the United States, and then he ended up in Nebraska, where he was experimenting building a hot air balloon because there was an old factory, and so he collected all those debris from it and built his hot air balloon, but it never really worked. But ironically, or funny enough, this hot air balloon is at the Visionary Art Museum in Baltimore, at the American Visionary Art Museum in Baltimore.
Yeah. Cool, I didn't know any of that, but then how did he end up in California?
He visited his sister in San Diego numerous of times, and one of the times in the 60s, he had this epiphany and apparently found a way to God. And then many years later, he moved full-time to California. I believe it was in 1984. Settled in Island, California, which is, as you know, a complete desert. And he found a spot and started creating this colorful mountain that we know as Salvation Mountain today.
Yeah, it was fun to go out there and take the photos.